Okay. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We'll start inshallah. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulihil kareem. Wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wa hlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. اللهم أخرجنا من ظلمات الوهم وأكرمنا بنور الفهم وافتح علينا بمعرفة العلم وسهل أخلاقنا بالحلم واجعلنا ممن يستمعون القول فيتبعون أحسنه اللهم اجعل أعمالنا خالصة لوجهك ولا تجعل فيها حظا لغيرك وصل اللهم على سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I think you should be able to unmute yourselves if you want to say something. I make to add, alhamdulillah. I make to add that everyone is well. We had another good week, and that we have good weeks ahead of us, inshallah. Yeah, obviously that's a strange thing to say in strange times, but may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it good for us. We never know the forms in which Allah brings goodness to us. That said, we were busy with, we're actually in our reader period now. Yeah, I think, this is one of the forms of goodness that Allah gives us in this time, that despite the difficulties that we're facing around us, we are still able to continue our learning, alhamdulillah. Yeah, so we're busy with our reader period, and you guys know the drill from last week. What we're going to be doing, inshallah, is we'll go through the section that you guys did in class last week. We'll read the next section. We'll just read it together, inshallah, and then we'll break away into our breakout groups, wherein we'll work on the next section together. Just a reminder, what are we trying to do by doing this reader? Yes, there's a benefit of the story itself. I mean, it's a story about Ibrahim alayhi salam. It's part of a book of stories about the Anbiya. So that's good. But the primary benefit of this book is not necessarily the content. However, we are going to come to a point in the story where there's Quranic ayat, etc. But the primary benefit of the story is not necessarily the content. It's the content. It's building up our malakat, or our faculties in language, right? Of the faculty of speech and articulation, the faculty of reading, the faculty of okay, not so much writing, because we're not expecting you to do much writing here, but of comprehending, of articulating, and of reading for the most part. Also of comprehension of what you read, and also comprehension of what you hear when we, for example, when you hear me reading, or when you hear, some of your partners in your groups reading. So that's what we should be trying to focus on when going through the story, and I hope also it serves as a bit of encouragement to you, that that you are seeing that you are able to understand Arabic sentences already. I mean, we half of the year has passed, but we had a bit of a crazy half a year, at least a crazy quarter of a year. But despite that, alhamdulillah, we're able to understand some Arabic already, and this perhaps will serve as a springboard for us, increasing in our ability to understand, such that it will become second nature, and more important things like the Quran will become understandable to us. So yeah, we were busy with chapter 3 last week, right? And we did the first 6 lines of chapter 3. Is that correct?
Yes, that's what we did. Assalamu alaikum, Maulana. That's what we did last week, but in the email, they said that chapter 4 was for homework. So I'm not sure.
Okay, great stuff. Chapter 4 for homework. So I hope you guys didn't skip the rest of chapter 3 and then go to chapter 4. Okay,
that's
so what
we
we'll
did,
do,
Maulana.
That's what you did. So okay, what we'll do is we will we'll read through chapter 3, right, with translation together. What I mean by together is I'll read and translate, and I would like, for example, whilst I'm reading, you try to comprehend. You read with me, try to comprehend, and then just check your meanings. And if at any point you have a question about why I translated something a certain way, just unmute yourself and butt in and ask me, stop me, and ask. I think that's how we will learn, bi'ithnillahi ta'ala. Right, so we're good to go. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Nasihatu Ibrahim, the advice of Ibrahim alayhi salam. يقول إبراهيم في نفسه. Ibrahim said,
Maulana, is that the mudaf in it?
yes, it is. It is a mudafun ilayh construction. How do you know? You have a word there, you see you have a light word, nasihatu. Am I still here? Yeah.
Yes, Maulana.
Okay. So you see you have a light word, right? Nasihatu, no al, no tanween. You guys did the mudafun ilayh construction already, right?
Today.
Okay, alhamdulillah. So good that you see it. You have a light word, nasihatu, no al, no tanween. And then the following word must always be in halatul what?
Jar. Halatul jar.
Yes, so that's correct. So this word Ibrahim, yeah, it is in halatul jar. But there's a bit of a difference, and I'm not sure if you learned about this, but you will in due time, inshallah. There's some words that's a bit stubborn. They just don't like to get a kasra. So even when the word is in jar, it still has a fatha on, like you have here, Ibrahimah. And you will learn about that, inshallah, in due time. But I think you should have been able to see that you have a word there with no al, no tanween. And that's how I'm translating it as the advice of Ibrahim alayhi salam. Right. يقول إبراهيم في نفسه. Ibrahim said to himself, لماذا يسجد الناس للأصنام? Why are the people prostrating to the idols? Second line.
Maulana,
Bismillah.
Maulana, Yaqulu, you translated as Ibrahim said. Is it past
Okay.
tense?
No. It would be better as Ibrahim says within himself.
Okay.
Oh, says to himself. يسأل إبراهيم نفسه. Ibrahim asks himself, لماذا يسأل الناس الأصنام? Why are the people asking the idols? يقول إبراهيم لوالده. Ibrahim said to his father, يا أبي, oh my father, لماذا تعبد هذه الأصنام? Why do you worship these idols? ويا أبي, and oh my father, لماذا تسجد لماذا تسجد لهذه الأصنام? And why do you prostrate to these idols? ويا أبي, and oh my father, لماذا تسأل هذه الأصنام? Why do you ask these idols? You know why I'm translating all of those as ta'budu, tasjudu, tas'alu, as why you worship, you prostrate, you ask. You following? Why do it like that? I'm going to ask you. Put on your mics and let's say one of those scales. Let's say the scale of tasjudu. Why I'm doing that is because you mustn't forget your sarf. Very, very important. So whoever wants to can put on their mic and we'll just say that scale together.
Yeah, it starts off with yasjudu, yasjuduna, tasjudu, yasjudna, if I'm correct. Then it's tasjudu, tasjuduna, tasjudina, tasjudna, asuju, no.
Yes.
Asjudu, nasjudu.
Perfect, good, mashallah.
Alhamdulillah.
Very eager. I mean, we can all do it together, but okay, mashallah, that is good. Let's all say, Bismillah. يسجد يسجدون
Una.
تسجد يسجدن تسجد
Tasjudu.
تسجدون
Tasjudu.
تسجدين
Tasjudi.
oh sorry what am I saying تسجد تسجدون تسجدين
Tasjudi. Tasjudna.
تسجدن أسجد
Nasjudu. Nasjudu.
أسجد. Good, mashallah. Right. So we must never forget that. Why am I saying tasjudu as you? Because we know tasjudu or taf'alu, that form will either be she one female or you one male. But we know Ibrahim is talking to his father. So there's no she in the discussion at all. And therefore, by exclusion, we know, and by the context, we'll know that it must mean you one male. And oh my father, why do you prostrate to these idols? And oh my father, why do you ask these idols?
Maulana, again, the past tense and present tense situation. So
Okay,
when
yeah,
you say,
it's all
why
present
are
tense.
you prostrating?
Why are you prostrating? Yes. Why are you prostrating, or why do you prostrate? The important thing to know is with the maldi, when you're using the maldi form of the verb, then the action is complete. Right? Or it's called the perfect tense. The action is complete. When you're using the mudari' form of the verb, then it means the action is incomplete or continuous. So it's not yet. It's the imperfect form. The action is not yet complete. So why do you prostrate? Meaning action is ongoing, or why are you prostrating? Both of those are fine, and we discussed that at the end of the last lesson.
So if you say, why do you prostrate, that's different to why did you prostrate?
Yes.
Because the one is past, and why do you prostrate? Is that continuous?
Yeah. If I say, why did you prostrate? Right. The action is complete. It's in the past tense. The prostration is finished. Whereas if I say, why do you prostrate? It means the action is ongoing.
Okay.
So the mudari' form is usually indicative of that ongoing action or incomplete action. Right. So we move on. Line number 7. This is now Ibrahim alayhi salam saying to his father, هذه الأصنام لا تسمع. These idols do not hear. Just to remind me quickly, am I translating that correct? هذه الأصنام, these idols, لا تسمع. They do not hear. Is that right or wrong? Anybody, you can put in the comments if you want or whatever.
Maulana, doesn't this have something to do with the fact that the asnamu are non-human plural, and that's why you have to use a feminine? There's some cheeky
Correct.
rule like that.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. So I'm using the word لا تسمعوا. You know, تسمعوا, if I go down the scale, يسمعوا, يسمعون, تسمعوا, يسمعنا, and then again تسمعوا. So تسمعوا is either she or you one male. But where's the, I'm talking about idols. These idols do not hear. So there's neither a you nor a she. However, what we know is when the subject of the verb is a plural of an inanimate object, then we treat it like a singular feminine. That's why we're using the form tasma'u, referring to she. But in translation, it will mean these idols do not hear. If anybody needs clarity, just drop me a message. Again, هذه الأصنام لا تنفع. Same thing. هذه الأصنام, these idols, لا تنفع. نفع ينفع means what? To benefit. So these idols, they do not benefit. And then this is line number 8. لماذا تضع لهذه الأصنام الطعام والشراب؟ لماذا, why, تضع, do you place لهذه الأصنام, for these idols. You may have been a little bit confused by this word تضع. Go ahead. I think I'm a little bit confused now. Tell me, did you guys do this page already? Did you guys work through this page?
No, no one.
No. Okay. What we're going to do is, let's break up into our groups now, inshallah, right? We break up into our groups now. We work on this page. And then when we come back to the big group, we go through this, and inshallah, we'll look at chapter 4 at another stage, right? So we're going to break into our groups now. If you could kindly put us into the breakout groups, we can work on this page, line number 7 until line number 12. What are we going to work on, right? I want each person in the group to read one of the sentences. I want you then to take a moment to work on translating, work on translating one of the sentences. And then I want you to check the translations with each other, right? When we come into the big group again, then we'll just go through these sentences and look at their meanings, inshallah, if time permits, or we'll do that at the beginning of our next lesson, inshallah, so that we have enough time for our tafsir section today, bi'idhnillah ta'ala. I'm going to go into the guys groups. I want everybody to be comfortable to put their mics on, to put their videos on, and to interact with each other, right? For that's the only reason why I'm not entering the females room, because I know people are in the privacy of their homes, maybe sitting without scarves on, etc., or maybe there's backgrounds you don't want to use. Allahu A'lam. So that's the only reason why I'm not going into the females groups. But if you do have any questions when we come back into the big group, then please do ask those questions, right? Or I'm going to think of another way that we can work. We can do that as well. But inshallah, for now, let's just stick with that method. But Nasreen, if you could please put us into our breakout groups. Oh, okay. I see people are joining. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. Sister Nasreen, can we please have everybody back in here? Let's see what I'm going to do here now. Stop this video. Assalamu alaikum. Am I audible?
Yes, Maulana, we
Yes,
can hear you.
Maulana.
We can't see you though, Maulana.
Can you guys hear me?
All good now, Maulana.
You see my screen and everything?
Yes, Maulana.
All right, perfect. Alhamdulillah. Okay. Before we move on, tell me, are there any questions firstly? From the ladies? The guys, for the most part, would have had their questions answered. Is my sound clear now?
Just a bit soft, Maulana.
Mulana, I just had a question on the last sentence, on the last two words. Okay, Mulana, can you hear me?
Doesn't appear as if he can hear you.
Sorry, I couldn't hear at the moment.
I said
am I clear? And
you're not very clear. You're breaking up.
okay now?
Yes, that's better.
Okay, Bismillah.
I just had a
What's the
question on the last sentence, the last two words. Yafhamu an-nasu. So an-nasu will be the people, but then yafhamu is one male not understanding. And how does that?
Okay, good question. Good question, mashallah. So what you are noticing there is that there's no agreement between the number of the verb and the plurality of the doer. Correct?
Correct.
The verb is singular, but the doer is plural. Right. It's a good observation to make. how that works is like this. Where is the doer mentioned? Is the doer mentioned before the verb or after the verb?
After the verb.
After the verb, correct. So in the
Eli.
Arabic language, right, when the doer is mentioned after the verb, then you use the singular form of the verb. Only when the doer is mentioned before the verb, then you have to have the correct, the verb of the correct number, because in that case, the doer will be on the verb, referring back to the thing that was mentioned. For example, if I say يفعلون, what does that mean? They, many males did. Or simply they did. Now, if I have the word they, that's obscure. You wouldn't know who I'm speaking about unless there was a group of males previously mentioned in the sentence. Right? So you only use that number or that word of the correct number if the doer is mentioned before it. For example, that sentence reads حينئذ يفهم الناس. The verb comes first and then the doer is mentioned. However, if I had perhaps at the beginning of a sentence الناس and then the verb, then I would have to have said الناس يفهمون. You following? Is that clear?
Yes,
If the
makes sense.
So if I have a subject mentioned and then the verb referring back to that, then it must have the correct number. If I have the verb mentioned first and then the doer after it on the left-hand side, then I use the singular form of the verb. Because if I had to use the correct form of the verb, for example, if I had to use حينئذ يفهمون الناس, you would have said, okay, I'm looking for the fa'il of this verb. How do I look for the fa'il? Ali. So I look on the verb يفهمون. It's already there, the una. So you don't look to the left after you already found it. So in that case, when the subject is mentioned after the verb, then you just use the singular form, and that indicates to you the fact that the doer of this verb is still going to be mentioned, unless it's just implied inside it as a he or she. Clear?
Clear, Jazakallah.
Wayakum. Any other questions? Okay. If there's no questions,
Maaf, Maulana, sorry.
Bismillah.
This is, I don't know if I'm not understanding this correctly, but we learned Eli, right? End, left, inside. So the fa'il must be either on the end of the verb, on the left of the verb, or inside the verb.
Okay.
But now
Perfect.
Maulana has come with this thing about the fa'il being before, if I'm
Okay.
understanding correctly.
Yes, yes.
Did Maulana
So-
Khalil not give us a full picture?
No. He did give you the full picture. He just
Okay.
didn't explain it as I did. If a word is mentioned before the verb, we will never consider it the fa'il. What it would be then is it would be the subject of the sentence. Remember, you have two types of sentences, isn't it?
Oh, okay.
You have the jumla ismiya and the jumla fi'aliya.
Yeah, okay.
Now, if I have the noun mentioned first, then the whole sentence structure changes from being a jumla fi'aliya to being a jumla ismiya.
Ismi.
All right. And so now I'm not going to call that word the fa'il. I'm going to call it the mubtada.
Yes.
You with me?
Okay.
Okay, perfect. Good.
Cool.
And
Shukran.
then when I have a verb after that, then I'm going to look at that verb and I'm going to say, okay, now the doer is at the end of the verb and it's referring back to that mubtada.
Okay. Shukran.
Okay.
That does make a bit more sense.
Okay, let's take a pause there and let's go to our Quran, inshallah. Right? If you have any more questions, we can continue with that next week, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So what I want you to do for homework is just to carry on working on chapter 4, refine it if you want. When we come back, we'll read through chapter 4 just so that we're not getting too mixed up. We read through chapter 4 and then we can do chapter 5 together in the next class, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. But for now, we're going to move on to our